Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Third Inning Podcast. I am your host, Izzy Rain. I have no idea what week it is in the podcast, but as we always do, we are starting with scores and rankings. And yeah, so let's go to the MLB At-Bat app. It is May 12th, so happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. So let's go to the scores for today, Sunday, May 12th. So I'm not sure. Okay, I don't see any pink hats. Sometimes the hats will be pink. Like, I've seen the Braves and Cardinals on St. Patrick's Day, and they wore green hats, and that was at spring training before y'all are like, they don't play on St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, it was at spring training. So, right now we only start with the Dodgers because that's who my app is saved as my team. So the Dodgers are winning 2-0 in the bottom of the 8th, and the bases are loaded in the bottom of the 8th. So, and Corey Seager at bat with Bear Claw pitching. So in the bottom of the 8th in Baltimore, we had the Orioles beating the Angels 5-1. I appreciate that. Then in the top of the 8th, again, bases loaded. We had the Reds and the Giants 4-4. Now, another one in the bottom of the 8th, we have Indians are beating the Athletics 5-3. In the bottom of the 7th, in Arizona, the Braves are beating the Diamondbacks 4-3. At 7:05 Eastern Standard Time, the Brewers will be playing the Cubs at Wrigley. The Red Sox beat the Mariners today 11-2. The White Sox beat the Blue Jays 5-1. The Yankees beat the Rays 7-1, and that was Tanaka and Snell pitching, so great pitching matchup. The Tigers beat the Twins 5-3. Whoa, Texas happening. The Rangers lost to the Astros 5-15. I hope I didn't say Texans. The Rangers get torn up quite a bit. I remember a year or two ago, I think it was 2 years now, when they had Darvish, they lost like 21 to something to the Marlins, the Miami Marlins. So I'm like, So the MLB TV free game of the day, so let me know if any of y'all watched, was the Phillies with the Royals 6-1, and that is why Andrew McCutchen was at the NASCAR race yesterday. It was sometime this week, but he was there. I saw him on the TV, and I have seen him in person playing baseball, not at a NASCAR race, so that was really fun to see. Hold on, wait. He's not on the Phillies, is he? Is he on the Pirates now? I don't know. I could have just really messed it up, because I get the Phillies and Pirates. I clicked an ad. I get the Phillies and Pirates confused, and I don't know why it keeps playing ads. No. Okay, so the Pirates beat the Cardinals 10-6, and why does this GoPro ad keep coming up? MLB, control your app. Exit off. The Rockies beat the Padres 10-7, and then the Marlins and Mets game got postponed. I'm assuming for rain. It is raining here as well in South Carolina. So probably some minor league games got postponed. I'm not sure. I haven't looked. I do have plans to go to a minor league game in about 10 days. 11 days. I think it's on the 23rd. But sometime in the next 2 weeks, I do plan on going to a minor league game, and we are going over to our minor league scores right now. But as that loads, I am going to I don't know the exact number of major league games this week and next. I'm not going to say where yet, just in case things come up. That's why I never tell people I'm going somewhere till like the day of, just because I never know with like chronic illness, mental health, if anything's gonna flare up or anything like that. I never know. And obviously sometimes weather, so I never tell people where I'm going or what I'm doing till like the day of an event. And why do these ads keep coming up on my phone for GoPro? I had a GoPro camera before, but it did not work well. So the first pitch, which is MILB, we go through the rankings or the standings because we cannot see these scores for whatever reason, and we are doing AAA this week. So this is the 2019 19, International League standings. So the International League North, and I've never been to a AAA game. I go by their stadium a lot in Charlotte, but we talk about the Knights every week. But okay, so Syracuse is number 1 with 21-15. Scranton / WB, and it's a cute dog, but keeps coming up. This is really annoying. I don't know why it keeps coming up, even if I exit out the app. So I'm just gonna let the ad play. Click the X. Lehigh Valley is 19-15. Buffalo 14-19. Rochester 14-19, and Pawtucket 13-21. Now moving down south, we have the Durham Bulls are number 1 at 21-15. The Gwyneth Braves are 21-16. I know their names and I've never been to a game, but okay. The Charlotte Knights are 18-17. Norfolk, I don't know what their mascot is, but I think they're still affiliated with the Orioles. But Norfolk 16-19, and then in the West we have Columbus 20-15, Indianapolis 18-16, Louisville 16-21, and Toledo 13-20. Now we can go to our Pacific Coast League, which I'm not as familiar with, but we have Iowa 24-13, Memphis 19-17, and this is in PCL, I guess American Northern, it's an abbreviation, but okay. Omaha 16-21, Nashville 12-23. Then in the PCL American Southern, we have Round Rock 23-13, San Antonio 21-16, New Orleans 19-18, and then my team on here is the OKC Dodgers, Oklahoma City 11-24. PCL Pacific Northern, we have Fresno 18-18, Sacramento 17-19, Tacoma 17-20, Reno 14-22, and then PCL Pacific Southern, we have El Paso at 25-11, Las Vegas at 22-15, Albuquerque at 20-17, Salt Lake City 12-23. So these cities in the AAA League are cities that really could potentially get a major league team if the league does decide to expand. And then I don't know what happens to the AAA teams, because these are obviously a lot of major U.S. cities, so it could happen. So we're gonna do a little news story before we get into our I have a funny thing to say too before we get into our main subject this week. So Max Fires, I'm not sure how to say his last name. Mike, I think I said Max. I just woke up from a nap, so my head is kind of everywhere. But so he is on the Oakland Athletics, the Oakland A's, and he had a no-hitter against the Reds, and 0 hits, 6 Ks, 131 pitches. So no-hitters are awesome, and that is awesome to see the A's doing, because the A's aren't really a team that I would expect it from, but I forget who I was seeing. It was the Cardinals, and I don't know if they were playing the Marlins or somebody at spring training, and the guy behind me, because I listen to people's conversations, I know bad, was saying no-hitters usually come from people you don't really expect it to happen to. So I think like A's, Reds, that's not really who I would be expecting to be having a no-hitter. So I have to agree with the guy there, and that's awesome just to see the A's do that. So now my kind of funny thing. So on Twitter, if you weren't familiar with, let me go over to Twitter. Follow me on there. I talk about the podcast. I give you all updates. My Twitter name, it's usually down below in the description as well, is Elizabeth_729. If you want to follow me on there, I only have 39 followers. So if you want to be the 40th follower, go follow. But there are usually games at the top. I'm just going to click with this one, and it just has all the tweets from the games. And sometimes you can watch the game on Twitter, but they, right now they still haven't fixed it. It says Nationals at Dodgers, which, as we said earlier, about 5 minutes ago, that game is happening. But the pictures of Acuna Jr. giving a high five to Freddie Freeman, and you can very obviously see Braves on Freddie Freeman's jersey and on his hat or helmet. I think it's his helmet. Twitter, are you okay? That's not the Nats or Dodgers. Those are the Atlanta Braves. Yeah, I actually don't have any plans to go to any Braves games so far this season. They're my hometown team. But yeah, so the games on Twitter today are Braves at Diamondbacks. So if you're listening to the podcast that it comes out today, you can go see this. But if you're not, there may be different games on there. So we have Braves at Diamondbacks, and you can't really see that picture, so I can't tell who's in this picture. They have the D-backs. Then we have the Reds at Giants are on here. And then it goes to NBA. Yeah, okay, if you click MLB, you can watch all of Cody Bellinger's live at bats. And if you click the NBA, which I know this isn't an NBA thing, it's a post-game press conference for Portland and Denver, which is Portland who won. So in the Western Conference Finals, it's brother versus brother, Curry versus Curry. So that's really cool, and I'm really excited to watch that. I did watch some of the Denver Portland game today. But, okay, moving into our main subject this week, we are going to be talking about ball hawking or catching baseballs at baseball games. Not necessarily, not all mine have come from MLB games. MLB comes in second after the Coastal Plain League, I think. I think I have two from the coast, 2 or 3, I'm not sure. Because I didn't really catch those. My dad caught them, but we have our collection all together, like it's a shared thing. Unlike Funko Pops, the Funko Pops collection, and that reminds me, I need to get some of my MLB Funko Pops to bring on my trip. So for the teams I'm seeing, I have Funko Pops of, and you can watch that video somewhere on my channel. But okay, so we're going to talk about all the baseballs that I have caught at games, and I highly recommend checking out Zach Campbell here on YouTube if you want to know more about ball hawking, ways to catch them, talking to the players. He posts videos like almost every day of him going to different MLB stadiums, and he goes to all the international games, like the Mexico series, and he went to the opening series in Japan, and he's probably going to go to the London series. I wish I was going to the London series so bad, but I really need to renew my passport. I was at the post office today, and they had a big sign saying get your passport here, so that reminded me I really need to get on working on renewing my passport, which that could be a big rant of how passports work, but this isn't a political or travel podcast, so we're not going to rant about the U.S. government. Yeah, check out Zach Campbell for tips on how to get baseballs at baseball games. He's very helpful and the one who really inspired me, even though my Coastal Plain League balls are older than that, but all my other balls I was there to catch. So my first one was at a Marlins Braves game at SunTrust Park, and it was the inaugural season at SunTrust Park, and Brian Anderson, the third baseman for the Marlins, threw the baseball into the crowd. I got it, and it has the inaugural stamp for their first season at SunTrust Park. And I think that's a good first baseball to catch. And I keep all mine in the little, I'd say cages for them. I don't know what they're actually called, but those little glass things that you can get at I get mine at Hobby Lobby, but you can probably find them at Target or anywhere else. And then my second baseball, and that was like in September. And it's hard to get if you're not a kid, so I'm thankful I'm a girl and not a man, because I think men are just gonna go sell them on eBay, and I'm like, that's not necessarily true. I don't like that players stereotype that, because yeah, I just don't like that. Because I think everybody should have an equal chance to get a ball, and sometimes obviously if you hit a home run you can't control who gets it. But how people boo, like if a guy gets it and doesn't give it to a kid. I wouldn't give it to a kid if I caught a baseball either. But I know, bad. But I just love the sport so much, I want it for myself. Maybe if I had like 10 in one day, yeah. But if it's just like one, I'm not. But okay, so my second one was at I think this would be my second one. Maybe my third, because this was all in spring of last year. Was at a South Atlantic League game at the Columbia Fireflies. They were playing the Augusta Green, I think they're called the Green Jackets. They're a Giants affiliate. And a foul ball. Foul balls are really the balls that you get most of the time. And it was very muddy, and it rolled into the tunnel, and I was sitting right next to the tunnel. It was a rainy day, so there was like nobody there, so that was really nice. And it was like a cleanup guy was there, so I was like, hey, can I have that baseball? And he gave it to me, so very nice of him. And then my third baseball that I caught was at Nationals Park. I was out in the outfield at that stadium, and so the bullpens are out there. And there was an EMT in the bullpen, and I was just looking in the bullpen. He was like, do you want this? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So he gave me a baseball that was hit in batting practice, and you can see where it was smudged. And that is in a vlog. Some of these are in vlogs. So this is in my baseball playlist on YouTube. So just click the thing up there, and in the top right-hand corner of your screen, and you can see all my baseball related videos, all previous podcasts, and that is where we are going to end today. And my question for y'all this week is, have you ever caught a baseball at any kind of baseball game, even high school games, middle school? So have you ever caught a baseball at a game? And if so, how many baseballs do you have in your collection? I do have some baseballs that I've bought at games and I've had players sign, but this week's podcast was about ones I've caught. So I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast, and as always, comment, rate, and subscribe. And the Dodgers just beat the Nationals 6-0. My chair almost flipped over, but bye guys, I'll see you next week.